know what? We need some Wednesday winners because Wednesday hasn't been real good lately, has it, Mike? Let's do it. I have been struggling on Wednesdays. I have no idea why. I'm talking about my individual picks. But today has been a good start because I had a Nerfy. Then I had a couple other small bets that didn't win, but I think I'm going to have a great night. Hey, folks, by the way, contact me, Bob, at OddsJam.com or Mike at OddsJam.com, and we'll tell you how to get, a couple of months free, right, Mike, of OddsJam.
That is right. That is no fluff, no cap. Hit us up. We will get you rolling. There's some things that we can do to help you out. We got the hookup. That's what we're telling you. We got the hookup. Me and Bob got the hookup. So holler at your boys, and we will get you going. Right, Bob?
That's right. Hey,
check us out.
You can DM us. That was good. That was good. You can DM us on Twitter, or you can go to Bob at OddsJam.com or Mike at OddsJam.com. So we start off the night here with, quite
a lot of Nerfy opportunities. Can I just start the show off with this? 3-0 so far today on Nerfies. And Tristan wrote a couple of them with me. I was talking to him. I did think about that Braves Angels Nerfy. I didn't touch it. So that would have been a good one. Wish I would have, but I didn't. But I jumped on the Nationals Brewers, hit that one. Jumped on the Guardians Astros, hit that one. And then another one was one that I noticed floating around in that Red Sox Mariners game. So I went on ahead and took that one too. But looking at the slate tonight, it feels like we've got a lot of Nerfy opportunities ahead of us. And I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to go for them. I'm not afraid to think, you know what, been Nerfies so far early, that means there won't be late. Nah, it's Nerfy Wednesday today, it feels like.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Mike. Mm-hmm. Which is easier to figure out what to bet on, a Nerfy or a Yerfy?
I like Nerfies. I mean, it's as simple as this. You need 6 outs, and you're good to go. That's all you need. I mean, I get on a Yerfy, you just need a run, but a lot of things may have to happen for that run. Yes, 1 home run and you got it, but may not be that easy. You may get 1 walk in that inning, and then the other 3 guys that come up to the plate aren't able to do nothing, and you're out. So I like Nerfies better than Yerfies. We did talk about the Padres Rockies being a potential Yerfy. I didn't touch it. It was a Yerfy, but I just don't do as many of those. I like Nerfies, man. Nerf or nothing with me, I guess. Well, Wait, I shouldn't say that. That's a slogan somebody else already has.
Yeah, they do?
Don't find me, YouTube. Don't find me. Yeah, Nerf or nothing.
No, I didn't know.
Nerf guns. Nerf, the brand.
Yeah, but this is NRF, not NERF.
True,
so,
but
yeah, you got
Nerfy or how about Nerfy or nothing?
Okay, Nerfy or nothing. But I like it because he just tells me what to bet, and then I go bet it. I don't have to think at all. He's like my positive EV Nerfy, but which, by the way, one of those Nerfies from today was on the positive EV page this morning. And before further, I want to tell you another one that I think I went ahead and hit. I gotta look it up here real quick. Bear with me, and I'll tell you here real quick. But there are Nerfies that do pop up quite often. Oh yeah, the A's and the Dodgers was a Nerfy that was on the positive EV page this morning. Mike, thoughts on that one?
Say that again. Which one was it?
A's and the Dodgers.
A's and the Dodgers. I mean, again, if it was a positive EV play, I would naturally just roll with it. I love Nerfies anyway, and anytime I'm getting an edge on a Nerfy and finding value, I've got to roll with it. Even if it's one, I'm like, I don't know about this one. You got Gonsolin. You got Gonsolin going for the Dodgers. He's still trying to get going here, not the same as he was last year after being hurt. Harris going for Oakland definitely seems like one you'd naturally look at and say, man, I don't know about a nerfy, but I would roll with it. I mean, you just need 6 outs, man.
Right.
And but that Dodgers lineup does scare me. I mean, because I've been burned by them in the first inning several times, but I would roll with it. Why not? I see no reason not to.
All right. So let's you and I put a 3-leg parlay together tomorrow night. By the way, Kia is coming on. And the following night, we've got 8 rain bets, baby. New guy. Gonna jump in. We'll have other people on here again soon, and there's probably going to be some new people. I got a guy that is a college football guy and met him today. You never know, man. Hey, if it gives us an edge in betting. And by the way, welcome to you all from Twitter, from YouTube, and from Facebook. Appreciate you joining us. Don't forget, if you want to figure out or find out, shouldn't have to figure it out, find out how to get 2 months worth of OddsJam free. Just email me, bob@oddsjam.com, or mike@oddsjam.com. All right, let's put together a parlay. A 3-legger that's fairly decent.
I'm down. Okay. And again, as I told you, a lot of nerfy opportunities here tonight. I mean, we look at this Rays-Yankees game, and you got McClanahan and Cole. It looks like an obvious nerfy. I will say this, be warned. Sometimes those super obvious ones burn you. So I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to touch that one or not. It does. I mean, no doubt those are 2 stud pitchers. It should happen, but I'm not sure. I do like Phillies Marlins. It's hit the last 2 games. And this is an excellent pitching matchup. So you already know I'm going to go with the first pick here, Bob. And my first pick's going to actually be a nerfy. And I'm actually going to roll in that Baltimore-Toronto game. I talked to Tristan about it earlier. We discussed it. We looked at that pitching matchup. You got Rodriguez going, Grayson Rodriguez for Baltimore. A little worried with him, but that's okay. I think we can roll with it. And obviously we know Kikuchi's going for the Blue Jays.
Okay. Very good. I'm going to go down to this Kansas City game against the Mets, Mike. And let me get back to my main markets here. By the way, check it out, folks, with the sidebar here. Is that not nice to be able to navigate on the side instead of always having to go back up to the top?
We rode them today, didn't we, Tristan? We smoked them today.
All right, let me get to my main markets here.
Smoked those nerfies.
So I'm liking the Royals plus 1.5. They're on a 5-game winning streak right now.
Yeah, in this matchup, they've got that Reagan's on the mound, that rookie. Did they just acquire him?
That I don't know.
I can't remember.
That I don't know, but I do know that the Mets have Senga.
Yeah, and he's good. He's a solid pitcher, but the Mets were sellers, as we saw. So I like that plus 1.5.
Okay,
we're
gonna add that.
I thought you were gonna go Mets minus 1.5, and I was a little worried because I'm not sure that I definitely don't like that first glance, but
I like the Royals plus 1.5 tonight. I don't do a lot of plus 1.5 bets. Got to find your spots for them, don't you, Mike?
Yeah, a little bit, I guess. I mean, same could be said with the minus 1.5. I mean, depends on what team you're talking about. I mean, if you're talking about, an Atlanta or a Tampa Bay team, most of the time you're going to be able to get them at minus 1.5 and win at times. But it just depends who they're playing too,
Well, those minus 1.5 seem to hit a lot more than the plus for me. All right, we need another leg to this parlay. I didn't even look and see what our odds are right now. Whoops. +2. Let me get myself out of Colorado. That was my last call.
Yeah, you may want to leave Colorado. Well,
Yeah.
actually, you want to be in Colorado if you're betting. I mean, if we're being honest, it's a lot of opportunity.
So we're at +250 on DK right now.
Okay.
So with that being said, let's come up with another leg or two.
Yeah, let's come up with another leg. I'm not going to go another Nerfy as much as I'd like to. Last time we put 2 Nerfies in the parlay, didn't go in our favor. So I think we've got to maybe look at the Phillies winning tonight. I don't know about you, Bob, but I'm actually looking at them to win this game. I mean, they will have swept the Marlins if they pull that off. So I definitely like. I mean, the Phillies had just beat Baltimore 2 out of 3. They did lose 2 out of 3 at Pittsburgh, but they're on the verge of sweeping Miami. I think I like Philly on the money line tonight.
Okay, so if we check that, +547 plus. All right, let's do it.
And if you want to throw a fourth one in there, there's a couple options I think we could go here. We could look at that Tampa Bay New York game, and we could potentially look at an under.
Okay.
And then the other route I would consider, and you tell me if you're in agreement with this, but maybe looking at the Dodgers -1.5.
Yeah. I mean,
as they're playing Oakland,
that's one of my picks in my video. So yeah, I would definitely be on that.
Well, I think we should add that then, if you think so. I mean, I'm fine with it. I mean, because here's the thing:
you want to make this a 4-legger.
Yeah, and we're gonna. I mean, if all 3 of them have hit, we could be well on our way. So if this thing's busted by the time this Dodgers game starts, then we're like, it's busted anyway. So the Dodgers pick doesn't hurt us, So let's see what happens.
That gets us a +1053. So we're looking at a Nerfy in the Orioles Toronto game. Kansas City +1.5. Phillies money line. Dodgers on the run line -1.5.
I do like that Philadelphia Miami Nerfy though. I mean, maybe that's the one I should have put in the parlay, but I did that yesterday and it hit, and I just decided to roll with that Toronto one instead. But I do like Miami Philadelphia. I'm probably going to bet. I am going to bet that. No probablys. You all want to know where I'm putting my money at. I'm going to put my money on the Philadelphia Phillies, Miami Marlins Nerfy. I will.
Okay.
And I'm also going to bet that Baltimore-Toronto one individually. And those are going to be the last 2 Nerfies I think I'm going to roll with tonight. So if all goes well, 5-0 on Nerfies for me. Bari, there's Jabari right there. And look, he's in the building right now. He's been sitting back there waiting while we're yakking away.
What's up, Jabari? Woo!
What's up, guys? We're having internet rollouts here. It's just Texas heat right now. It's 105. So I don't know what's going on, but it's hot as heck right now.
Hot.
Yeah, it's 105. It was 106 yesterday. So yeah.
And as Bari put in the chat, Miami, Philadelphia, one of the best Nerfies today. Got to agree with that. I mean, that's a heck of a one. You like Tampa Bay and New York too. Definitely one that we just talked about. McClanahan and Cole, you definitely think that's a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. So feels like today is a big Nerfy day. I mean, it really, we're looking at a lot of these matchups, there's a lot of Nerfy potential. I mean, you could even look at Chicago and Texas. Dunning did screw me not long ago, so I am a little worried about that. But hey, he's still a good pitcher. Him and C's on the mound. that's another solid one to look at. I mean, lots of Nerfy potential today.
A lot.
So one thing that I hardly ever see, Jabari, in Price Picks are Nerfies popping up on the optimizer. Why do you think that is?
Because they're too corporate and they manipulate them too much. They take the nerfies from they're thinking too much data percentages and they like mix up the nerfies. So it's not like Tampa Bay and the Yankees tonight, right? They'll mix it up.
Right.
They'll put Tampa Bay with the Mets or something like that, right? And it just completely turns you off from it. Yeah. So it's not it doesn't have the best odds to hit because they put two pitchers that are like very much on the cusp. They're not favorites to go over, runs for the first inning, and they're not favorite to go under. So it's just like, but I have seen them on there like earlier in the season or earlier when the fantasy optimizer was on there. I've seen them on there, but like as of now in the last month or so, I've not seen any on there. And to be honest, I would be scared of those on Prize Picks because they manipulate them too much.
Okay. Yeah, no two ways about it. And they, I mean, if you like that one, for example, you look at Yankees Mets. I mean, Mets one is the one that you may be worried about there. So, I do like, we know the Yankees are probably not going to score a run in the first inning, but, there's a chance the Mets are going against a rookie pitcher here. Who knows? So, yeah, I don't like mixing and matching those as much.
By the way, Mike, I was playing Swing for the Fences on BetMGM and got a 15% boost. So our parlay is going to be at plus 1254. So we're going to give away $50.
Nice.
I'm sorry, like Jabari, that you missed the parlay.
It's okay. I'm okay with the picks. I was here. I was on the channel. I would have said cool. New York, Tampa Bay, Nerfy, but I mean, it's okay with me. I think what we got is solid.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Let's run with
it. By the way, how you like the new look?
I like
sidebar navigation.
I like it. I went over there yesterday, threw in a couple Prize Picks entries. I really like the way they organized it. It always looks good when it's tidy and neat like that. It's really good.
Let me
ask
you another question. Can you not do sports betting on Twitch anymore?
No, you can. You can't do gambling anymore, which includes like stake and like casino gambling. You can't do that. But as far as sports betting, unless I got an email while I was out on vacation or something, but yeah, I, as far as I know, you can.
Okay. All right. Somebody told me that the other day, and I was just going to check with you. All right. Let us pull up the optimizer, which I got to admit here lately, I've ran into a couple of tough days.
Yeah, Tristan, just real quick, answer his question. Overall, do you guys think it was a successful trade deadline for some teams? Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of teams helped themselves out. Texas definitely went and got some pitching. Houston added Verlander back. It feels like a lot of the teams in the American League that we kind of thought would be contenders really kind of evened out with all the moves they made. So, I mean, I think it's going to make for some great baseball down the stretch.
Jabari, I got a question for you here because I've got Prize Picks pulled up. What do you think about these top three? They're all three in the 60 percentile range, but it is preseason football. What do you think about these top three plays on the optimizer, all in the Hall of Fame game tomorrow night?
All right, so this is my specialty. This is my bread and butter. This is where I got started on Prize Picks. David Bell, as far as receiving yards, I could see. I know they're playing a lot of reserves here because it still is a preseason game. So, yeah, I can still see the 27.5. Zach Wilson. We're going to see there have been a lot of reports about him improving his passing game in the training camp. So the under 70.5, I will be a little bit scared. But as far as that, the Hall of Fame games, I don't think have scored over 30 points, I think, in like the last 7 years. So we're
on the under 33.5.
You should definitely nail that and put that on the board. I put a full unit on that. And then Kellen Mound. Yeah, they're saying that he looked good in training camp. Obviously, they're not starting Deshaun. So run it. Run it. The only thing I would probably change in my executive decision would probably be Zach Wilson, probably over 70.5, because 70.5 is really, really
right.
low. But
right.
It's still something I say, why not?
Okay. So David Bell over, and then we do Kellen Mond under, or no, I'm sorry.
It was over 100 passing yards. Yeah.
Okay. 100.5. All right. Cool. So we'll put those two into this entry. And you know what? After that, we're just going to go after. By the way, the soccer thing didn't work out real well the other night. I'm going to have to stay away from it. I'm sorry. And as a matter of fact, women's soccer has really sucked for me. So I'm staying away from it. All right. Let's go to, what is this? CSGO. Let's go. Who is this? Oh, this is Hoax. I know Hoax. Good friend of mine.
Yeah. You've had him in a couple entries.
Oh, no. I'm talking about we hang out.
So, do you now? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hoax. You know, he says, he always comes in the room and goes, "Hey, I'm not a hoax."
Yeah. Ha 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 ha. Don't quit your day job, Bob.
All right. Cody Senga on, what was that again? Hits allowed over 4.5. You like that one, Jabari?
Yeah,
I do too. Yeah.
If it's for Kodai, yeah. I don't see why not.
Mm-hmm. Royals have been playing good. All of a sudden. I mean, you know how it is this time of year. Teams like that, you're going to get some underdogs playing well here down the stretch. Got nothing to lose, wanting to play a little spoiler. So, yeah, Royals definitely been impressive lately. Didn't you say 5 in a row they've won? Something like that?
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah. You know what? I'm just going to go with Enrique here because I can't say that last name.
Ogumbawale.
Ogumbawale. Okay. Hey, that was not hard at all.
Been watching her since college. She was always a hooper.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
Sometimes I get intimidated when I see a whole bunch of letters.
What was the one he messed up, Mike?
Oh, man.
I can't remember.
I can't remember, but he just absolutely butchered it, though. Goodness.
Yeah. I don't remember. I don't have, you know what? My memory fails me in that particular situation. I'm just saying. All right, let's add all these. It's as easy as that, folks. Go down the optimizer. Yes. Sometimes you do have to make a decision. Okay. Is to not take a play. But usually when you get several plays in the 60s, you're doing pretty well. Mm-hmm. So we're talking NFL here a little bit because we have. And by the way, let me change this since Jabari came to. There we go, Mike.
I'd already noticed it. I'd beat you to it.
Don't be messing with me. I got to get golf picks in here real quick. This is the Golf Gurus. For the Wyndham, here we got Henley, Kim, Siwoo Kim, McCarthy, Smalley, and Cam Davis as outrights. Henley and Sunjay M, top 5. Siwoo Kim, McCarthy, and Poston as top 10s. And then Smalley, Davis, On, Horschel, and Streelman as top 20. So there you go. And those are comments I never got to. All right. Jabari.
I already got them.
All right.
How good are you, Jabari, at preseason football?
I mean, I'm pretty good at just that football in general. As far as preseason, this preseason is going to be a little special because there's so much that has happened. You really just had to pay attention to the training camp, who got a lot of reps and who didn't, and who has a really good chance of making the team. So we'll see. Last year I did not play preseason on Prize Picks because it wasn't really there, to be honest. Like I don't ever have a good memory of it like just being as prominent of a thing. But when we get closer to the season, we're gonna implement that method I told you. We're gonna have 5-6 man. We're gonna run a 2-man, and we're gonna be using the optimizer. So, this end of the year, we're gonna make some money for some Christmas gifts for somebody.
Oh, yeah.
That is most definitely the goal. So,
Okay.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen,
Yeah.
and when it does, we'll be at the forefront of all of that happening. So.
Yeah, I love it. Jabari's got it, man. He already knows.
Going.
He's already talking about Christmas gifts, man. I mean, I'm pumped now.
Chris, what's he doing? What have you been doing? Watching Lifetime channel? Christmas in July?
No, I just, you know what I'm saying? I've been busy, been gone for a week, trying to get back in the grind. Unfortunately, the Tampa Bay Rays are in second place now. They're a game and a half behind, and we took them to win the league. So I'm gonna need them to pick it up.
I know.
Over those.
I know. I agree.
The Braves pretty comfortably 8.5 games ahead. I just this point, as long as they don't start going on a 5-game losing streak, they'll be okay.
But look, before we go any further here, I've got to ask you guys this. The football season starts tomorrow. I know it's not the regular season, but it's the Hall of Fame game. And that means football's around the corner. Surprise moves this year. Either one of you, any surprise moves out there?
D-Hop going to the Titans. Quite honestly, I didn't want him to go to the Titans. But I mean, he has a strong connection with Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel was there when he was there with Bill O'Brien, so he has a very good connection with him. I just don't feel like the Titans are going to be contenders. You have a young team, and he's going to be the only person there. So if you want a ring, that's really not the place to do it. I would have personally liked him to go to the Chiefs. I wouldn't have called him a cop-out. I wouldn't have called him a sellout because he definitely would have most definitely won them a ring, even if he went to the Eagles. He would have won a ring, but that was a surprise move for me.
Now, I'm going to ask you this question, okay? Where are we at with the Dalvin Cook situation?
He's been hanging around a lot around the Jets.
Right.
From what I've been seeing in training camp.
Could you see a situation like that with him going to the Jets and hooking up with Aaron Rodgers? That would really help Aaron Rodgers out a ton, guys.
They might even be a contender at that point. Quite honestly, they really might. Because I mean, there's not anybody else. Well, I mean, they'll probably be second in their conference, probably maybe even third. No, probably second, behind the Bills. Bills still kept their core team, so I mean, you know, they could really come out of the AFC East and do some damage. But I don't know. We'll have to see.
The interesting thing there will be, you know, Dalvin Cook does go there. I mean, Breece Hall is going to at some point get healthy. So what would they do in that situation? You have, I mean, I feel like Breece Hall, the year he was having last year, has kind of earned himself, you know, a starting running back role, you know, so that would be interesting to how they would utilize both of those guys. I mean, I'm not seeing any timetable on when Hall could return. So you definitely want to have somebody there like a Dalvin Cook while you're waiting on him. And then maybe you don't have to rush Breece Hall back if you do that, you know. So there's always that option too. But definitely going to be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah.
You're going to use them both. I mean, it's a 17-game season now, guys. I mean, you have to.
But I mean, both of them are very ball demanding backs.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
that's true too.
Like they're not, you know, like they do most of their damage with the ball in their hand. They're not necessarily the greatest at everything else. So
yeah, that's true too.
You know, Breece. Well, I can't say that for Breece. I'm sorry. That's unfair. That's an unfair judgment right now because he is so fresh that I don't think we've seen him develop an actual system with an actual quarterback where Aaron can really tell him where to move. So we'll have to give him his fair shake once he gets healthy.
Yeah,
right.
No doubt. Definitely a guy that I'm looking forward to watching throughout his career, hoping for the best, because he definitely showed last year. My gosh, was he good? I mean, that guy can run the ball. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, I
got one other thing. I got one other thing. I'm not trying to interrupt you here or anything, but you mentioned this on the radio show the other day, because I asked you about it. What do you think about Derek Carr and the Saints, and does he have a shot at taking that team to the playoffs?
Are you asking me?
Both of you.
I'll let Jabari go since I've touched on it a little bit.
And I'm interested to hear what you had to say. I think my initial answer is yes. There's nobody else in that division that's going to stop them. Who, the Panthers, the Falcons, the Bucks, all of them are pretty. That is probably this year's NFC East. That is probably one of the worst divisions there. So,
yeah, I mean, you come from a division where you had a lot of, you had Mahomes, you had Herbert, who came onto the scene. Obviously, Denver's had their issues, but now you go to a division where you're probably, you were arguably the third. There's no arguably. You were the third best quarterback in the division you were in. Now you're the best quarterback in your division, and you don't have as much competition in the AFC as a whole quarterback. Now Derek Carr is not only one of the better quarterbacks in his division, he's probably one of the better ones in the NFC all around now. I mean, is he the top quarterback? No, but he's certainly higher up in the NFC than he would have been in the AFC.
Is he top 5 in the NFC?
Of course.
I think so, yeah.
The only ones that
was he top 5 in the AFC?
No.
He had 2 arguably better quarterbacks just in his division alone. And then you had Josh Allen on the Bills. You had Lamar on the Ravens.
Lamar, Burrow. I mean, yeah.
You see how I bring all this stuff out of you guys? So here's where we're going next.
Uh-oh.
You're gonna love this one, Mike.
Oh no.
Is Herbert worth that kind of money? Are you serious?
What do you mean? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you've got a guy now who is proven that he can play elite level football. I mean, we can talk about the playoff loss. That loss to the Jaguars 27-0 was not just Justin Herbert's fault. That was the entire team collapsing, the coaching, everything. You can't just pin that on one guy. You look around, how many guys are you going to take that is better than him? Not a lot. That's a short list. So if you're the Chargers, you have to wrap him up. And you added an offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore, who might be able to bring the even more out of this kid,
But to make him the highest paid player?
Well, I mean, you got to do stuff like that sometimes, man.
Right.
I'm not saying he's.
They were talking about many of times. They were talking about him and Joe Burrow having a contract wars to see who could, once one person gets their contract, then the other person was going to use that as negotiating grounds to be like,
right.
I want something on this or above this. However, unfortunately, Joe Burrow might have torn his Achilles right off the bone in training camp.
Yeah.
So
is that the word that's out there right now? I thought it was a calf issue.
We don't know. They haven't fully said what it is. They've been kind of mysterious about the thing because I guess they don't want people to know how severe it is, but it was non-contact and did not look good. So
that worries you for sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. I did not hear that.
Yeah. You got to do what you got to do when you got a chance to wrap up. When you can say we've got one of the best, you don't have to say we have the best. As long as you can say we got one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, you got to wrap him up and lock him up because you don't know when you're going to have an opportunity to get a guy like that again. You already proved that you made the right decision drafting him because there was a chance they don't draft him. They take Tua, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So now you've got you've seen that you're feeling your hunch on him paid off. It was the right pick to make. Lock him up. Yeah.
I thought he was a little overrated coming out of Oregon, but
Yeah, there was definitely some concern. It was a risk at the time they drafted him. There's people that loved it. There's people that didn't like it because you're right. Coming out of Oregon, we just weren't really sure, and we still aren't in terms of Super Bowl caliber. But we know one thing: he's a good enough quarterback to lead your team into the playoffs, and that's all you want to do is get in, right? So we'll see what happens.
So with the Burrow injury, doesn't look like the line has really moved yet.
You were right. It was a calf. They came out and said
it
was a calf, and apparently he's been putting weight on it and such with a sleeve on, with a compression sleeve. So maybe just a report. It was an overreaction that I saw, but
that'd be an overreaction. Yeah. So even though with the injury, plus 1,100 to win the Super Bowl, I don't know if I'd rank them behind the 49ers. I mean, to win it all.
The Bengals?
Yeah.
I would, only because the 49ers are arguably coming into the season one of and I'm a Niners fan. Sorry. Okay. We're coming into the season one of the best defenses statistically on paper. Coming in with one of the best defenses. We keep CMC there, and then we potentially have Purdy as our starting QB. And considering the tear Purdy went on last year, if he can even remotely keep that up, we're going straight back deep to the playoffs. Like we didn't lose a lot on the team. However, we did lose Mike McGlinchey, and that is going to hurt. But knowing how the Niners like to really get offensive linemen, I'm confident we can replace him.
Well, I would have to agree with the defense. I mean, again, Cincinnati, very good team, but that defense for San Fran is legit. So don't necessarily disagree with that.
What position you play on the Niners, Jabari?
What position would I play?
No, do you play on the Niners? You said we.
Yeah.
If I could, I would definitely be a linebacker. I love the system. I love when D'Amico Ryan was there. I love when Robert Saleh was there. Like, I just like the defense.
He's a couch GM, man, like the rest of us.
A couch GM, I wouldn't say that.
I'm couch GMing for the Chargers. I mean, I'm making the moves for us. Gotta get him. Gotta do.
Should have told him not to draft Phillip Rivers.
Man.
Excuse me. Make the trade for Phillip Rivers.
That is his boy. That's his boy, man.
You guys got what? 10 years of pain. Eli got 2 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah. That was really a bummer.
The Tyree catch was, come on, dude. I mean, that had nothing to do with Eli.
Well, here's the thing.
Julian Edelman made that catch.
Phillip Rivers played in an AFC championship game on a torn ACL with no Antonio Gates and no LaDainian Tomlinson against the Patriots, and they lost 21-12. Now, if the Chargers beat the Patriots in that AFC championship game the year the Giants won against New England, I fully believe the Chargers beat the Giants in that Super Bowl because I just think they had a good enough defense at that time to get the job done. But it is what it is.
You know who you're sounding like?
A bitter fan.
Sound like a St. Louis baseball Cardinals fan when all we had to do was stop Big Papi. And we would have won that World Series, baby.
Yeah, I don't know why they kept pitching to him. I mean, I don't know how many home runs the guy has to hit before they realize just intentional. Give him the Bonds treatment. Put him on base.
Exactly.
But, oh well.
All right, folks. Good job, guys. We will see you later. Make some money tonight. Oh, yeah.